Tom Cruise and Christopher McQuarrie are returning for two more Mission Impossible films after producing the highest box office grosses for a Mission Impossible film yet. Hello and welcome to Movie Momentum. Today, we'll be telling you everything that we need to know before watching Mission Impossible 7. The first Mission Impossible series takes the original plot and flips it on its head. When an entire team of IMF operatives is slain on a mission in the first installment, Cruise's Hunt is the sole survivor. Surviving, however, does not help him much, since the IMF accuses Hunt of being a mole in the organization and the perpetrator of the crimes. To establish his innocence, Hunt goes on the run in search of the true mole, determined to stop them before they cause any further harm. Along with Cruise and Rames, the film also stars Voight as Jim Phelps, a character from the original series, Vanessa Redgrave as an arms dealer named Max, and Kristen Scott Thomas and Emilio Estevez as additional key roles. The 1996 picture, directed by Brian De Palma, is more of a limited paranoid espionage thriller, and ultimately the series moves beyond the original film's plot and action sequences, yet Mission Impossible will always be remembered as the one that began it all. Mission Impossible 2, directed by John Woo, was released 4 years after the original film, sees the return of Hunt and the IMF as Hunt is charged with discovering and disposing of a biological weapon known as Chimera. The mission's antagonist is a former IMF agent named Sean Ambrose, played by Dougray Scott. Thandiwe Newton as Nia Nordoff Hall, Ambrose's ex-girlfriend, who assists Hunt in his mission, and Brandon Gleeson as John C. McCloy, CEO of Biosite. The corporation that manufactures both the Chimera weapon and its antidote, Bellerophon, are also new additions to the ensemble. Ambrose wants to provoke a pandemic so he can sell the antidote for billions of dollars, and Hunt and Nia must secure the virus before it's too late. The second Mission Impossible films up the ante, with Hunt trekking all the way to Sydney, Australia, to track down Ambrose, and the action sequences are packed with classic Woo flair. The third film in the Mission Impossible franchise took the longest to be released, with a 6-year gap between Mission Impossible 2 in 2000 and Mission Impossible 3 in 2006. The third installment of IMF agent Hunt's narrative adds two new major characters, Michelle Monaghan as Hunt's fiancée, Julia Mead and Simon Pegg as Benji Dunn, an IMF technician, and Hunt's trusty comrade. Hunt tries to retire from field work and settle down with Julia in Mission Impossible 3, but the organization won't allow him. He is summoned to save a kidnapped agent and prevent arms dealers known Owen Dwayne Seymour Hoffman from getting a lethal MacGuffin known as the Rabbit's Foot. While Hunt tries to keep his true work secret from Julia, she is drawn into danger regardless of his efforts. The third Mission Impossible film, directed by J.J. Abrams, also stars Lawrence Fishburne, Carrie Russell, and Billy Crudup, among others. This is when the action franchise truly reaches its stride in the new decade. Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, the first Mission Impossible film with a subtle, does not disappoint. After a mission goes horribly wrong, resulting in the Kremlin being blown up, the US government rejects the IMF in what is known as the Ghost Protocol, leaving Hunt and his crew alone and without assistance. The fourth Mission Impossible film also stars Jeremy Renner, Paula Patton, Michael Nyqvist, and Léa Seydoux, in addition to Cruise, Rames, Pegg, Monaghan. Unlike Hunt's prior missions, which included traitor agents and viral weapons, this one is Hunt attempting to avoid a nuclear disaster. The stakes are stronger than ever before, as Hunt must overcome both physical and emotional challenges to complete his mission and rescue the planet. Brad Bird, the director of The Iron Giant and The Incredibles, made his live-action debut with Ghost Protocol, and the film is a significant step up from the previous three, escalating the action set pieces, most notably Cruise's instantly iconic climb up the Burj Khalifa, and introducing a more ensemble-driven approach that the franchise is still embracing today. Mission Impossible Rogue Nation is the fifth installment in the never-ending Mission Impossible series. Along with Alec Baldwin, Sean Harris, and Tom Hollander, this film features Ferguson's Isla Faust, an MI6 agent who meets Hunt while undercover in the syndicate crime organization, a multinational collection of renegade spies. Ferguson's character is without a doubt one of the most complex in the series thus far, and she breathes new life and intrigue into the franchise. Hunt is kidnapped by the Syndicate, commanded by Harris's character Solomon Lane, and tortured for information before escaping with the assistance of Faust. The Syndicate's main purpose is to rebuild the world order through a series of brutal terrorist strikes, and Hunt is always framed for the atrocities, forcing him to flee. It's an age-old tale. Hunt becomes entangled in a massive plot, then is framed and forced to flee, depending on his incredible talents as an agent to stop the Syndicate before they finish their plan. There's virtually no need to modify the formula that has taken the movie this far. but director Christopher McQuarrie makes it seem fresh and innovative with incredible stunts and a great interest in Hunt as a character. It's no surprise that he's the only filmmaker to have returned to the franchise for numerous sequels. Mission Impossible Fallout is the franchise's largest adventure yet, following Hunt, Faust, and the rest of the Hunt's now familiar squad as they seek to stop what's left of the Syndicate. The Apostles, commanded by an obscure individual known as John Lark, have restructured the organization following the failure of a mission to recover stolen plutonium cores. Bassett, who has finally joined the franchise as CIA Director Erica Sloan, appoints Henry Cavill's August Walker to monitor Hunt's future operations. Meanwhile, an armament dealer known as Alana Mistopoulos, or the White Widow, a new character played by Vanessa Kirby, causes havoc for Hunt and the IMF by stealing plutonium in order to make a deal. Mistopoulos' offer requires Hunt to capture Lane, the villain from the last film, and bring him to MI6 in exchange for the plutonium cores for the CIA and IMF. Of course, nothing goes as planned when Hunt realizes that the person known as Lark is closer than he expected. The two films' narratives are intricately connected and set 2 years ago after the Rogue Nation, so it's better to watch them together if you can. You're all now set to watch Hunt's newest and craziest action-packed adventure. Thank you for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Like the video and subscribe to the channel if you have not. See you next time.